BMX is an abbreviation that stands for bicycle motocross, which is a sport that was created by children who did not have a motorcycle and started using their own bicycles to imitate a cross-country motorcycle. They made tracks using barrier tape where they created jumps and banked curves. The bikes were fitted with number plates and the track had a start and a finish. The general assumption is that the BMX sport originated in the United States of America in the early 70s. But images of BMX riders in Amersfoort dating from 1958 surfaced a few years ago. There is even a reference to BMX in the year 1956, when a photograph of two BMX riders in St. Antonis was on the cover of a magazine named Achlievetide. The origin of BMX in its current form, which is even an Olympic sport nowadays, can most likely be found in St. Antonis and Amersfoort, where motocross was very popular. Children who were unable to pay for a real cross-country motorcycle but did want to experience the feeling of riding a motocross race used old bicycles to imitate motocross races. The Van Houten family from Amersfoort was very active in the sport. One of the BMX riders was Tony Van Houten, who later obtained Dutch titles in motocross and subsequently became world champion in the sidecar classification. Because the motocross sport was only introduced in the United States in 1966, a few decades after the crosses took place in Europe, it is plausible that BMX has its origin in the Netherlands. The BMX sport was optimised in the United States, where the first motocross races for kids on bikes were organised around 1970. The Schwinn Stingray was a bicycle considered strong enough to ride bicycle motocross races.
Going in fourth, trying to move up. He's in second, look at
The Stingray bicycle had a 20-inch wheel size. In this initial period, the motocross heroes were the great examples for the first BMX riders. The motocross film On Any Sunday, that was released in 1971, opened with a BMX scene, which made American children enthusiastic about the sport.
On any Sunday, stretching up, reaching high, leaving my Monday world behind. I fire my rockets and explode in the sky, kick up my heels until I fly.
In search of tracks to ride on, the first riders ended up at Palms Park in Santa Monica, California. The riders met up there from all corners of Los Angeles. Scott Breithout was one of the first organisers. His BUMS track in Long Beach was where the foundations were laid for the bicycle motocross race in America. In 1973, the first official BMX association was founded by Ernie Alexander, named the NBA, National Bicycle Association. The Yamaha Gold Cup finals, held in the enormous LA Coliseum, are regarded as one of the first official races. There were 16,000 people seated in the stands to watch a bicycle motocross race, and 1,100 riders were at the start in 1974. That same year, the NBL, National Bicycle League, was founded in Florida by George Esser. The first BMX World Championships were held in 1978 in America, under the name JAG BMX World Championships. Rennie Roker was the man behind the JAD BMX World Championships races, which continued for many years thereafter. The first winner in the Open Pro classification was Perry Kramer. Bicycle motocross was soon regarded as a good training for motocross. Steering, jumping, bicycle control and quick starting are elements that are important in both sports. That was exactly how Herbert Duus felt about it when he first came into contact with the sport in the early 70s. Duus was in California to give a training session to a group of motocross riders and, after doing some research, decided to introduce BMX in the Netherlands. The Stichting Fietscross Nederland SFN Dutch Bicycle Motocross Foundation was founded in 1978 and taken over by the KNWU, the Royal Dutch Cycling Federation, at the end of 1980. Collaboration intensified at international level, partly because of the foundation of the IBMXF, International BMX Federation. After the film E.T. played in cinemas in 1982, which included an exciting BMX scene, it seemed like everyone needed to have a BMX bike. BMX tracks shot up like mushrooms.
Tell me when it's over!
In 1983, the first IBMXF World Championships were organised outside America at Pony Park, Slagharen in the Netherlands. The Dutch Avro Broadcasting Company was there to report on the races. In the next few years, more broadcasts followed of Avro's Fietscross, with the legendary commentary of Gerald van der Graaf, who came up with nicknames such as Helicopter Jansje van der Dungen, Turbo Monique Fransen, and Eric Duke Ducino. The riders never got rid of those nicknames. After the glory days of 1980 to 1986, the growth of bicycle motocross stagnated. In 1990, the IBMXF started a collaboration with the FIAC to organise together the first World Championships in Sandnes, Norway. In 1996, the IBMXF was taken over definitely by the UCI, the Union Cycliste Internationale, the world governing body for cycling. BMX racing takes place on a 300 to 400 metres long track.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
A maximum of 8 riders leave from the starting gate to reach the finish via curves and jumps. It's very simple. The rider who crosses the finish line first has won. Traditional bicycle motocross is a sport the whole family can participate in, both young and old. In a BMX supercross race, the riders launch themselves from an 8-metre high ramp in order to bridge humps of as much as 12 metres. The current UCI World Championships, UCI World Cups and the Olympic Games take place on these spectacular tracks that only the best male and female BMX riders may ride on. BMX racing became an Olympic sport in Beijing, China, when bicycle motocross became a medal sport for the Olympics. The spectacular track there resulted in a specialisation from BMX World Cup racing to BMX Supercross. After becoming an Olympic sport, BMX racing got an enormous boost. The worldwide attention to the spectacular sport at the Beijing Olympics led to new members for existing bicycle motocross clubs. Maris Strombergs from Latvia wrote history by winning the first gold BMX medal in 2008. And Caroline Chausson from France won the first gold BMX medal with the women. Since then, BMX racing has remained a popular and exciting fixture on the Olympic programme, attracting an increasingly large following worldwide. At the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, the 4th consecutive Olympiad featuring BMX, equality of participation between men and women will be met for the first time. A big step forward for this discipline that has captured the imaginations of riders and fans from all around the globe.
Bye BMXers, see you next time.